A few years ago, the internet discovered something wonderful. If you place a cucumber on the floor behind a cat while it's eating, then wait, the cat will eventually turn around, see it, and absolutely lose its mind. Full body flinch, vertical launch, sometimes a full sprint to another room, followed by a suspicious glare from around the corner as if the cucumber might follow. The videos went viral instantly, millions of views. Comment sections full of people tagging their friends. Everyone agreed it was hilarious. Then the cat owners started doing it themselves. Then the debate started. Then actual animal behaviorists got involved and said, politely but firmly, that everyone needed to stop. But before we get to why you shouldn't do it, let's talk about why it happens, because the explanation is far stranger and more interesting than cats are just weird, which, while accurate, is not the whole story. Let's start with the snake theory. The most widely cited explanation among animal behaviorists is that cats have a hardwired, deeply ancient fear response to snake-like shapes appearing suddenly in their environment. Snakes have been a genuine threat to small mammals for hundreds of millions of years. Long before cats existed as a species, the ancestors of modern felines were getting killed by snakes regularly. The ones that reacted fast and got away lived. The ones that paused to investigate did not. Over millions of generations, this produced a nervous system with a very specific setting. If something long, thin, and curved appears suddenly near you, treat it as a potential snake and act accordingly. Don't think, don't evaluate, move first, investigate later from a safe distance while pretending you meant to do that the whole time. A cucumber, lying on the floor behind a startled cat, fits this profile almost perfectly. It's roughly the length of a small snake. It's curved. It's green and low to the ground. And critically, it appeared without warning. That last part matters enormously. Cats are extraordinarily sensitive to their immediate environment. This isn't quirky personality, it's survival architecture. A cat that always knows exactly what's in its space is a cat that doesn't get ambushed. They conduct constant, low-level environmental audits, cataloging what's where, what's moved, what's new. When something appears in a space they've already cataloged as safe and familiar, the mismatch triggers an immediate alarm response before any conscious evaluation can happen. The cat didn't decide to be afraid of the cucumber. The cat's nervous system fired a response before the cat's brain had finished processing what it was even looking at. By the time the cat lands from its spectacular vertical exit and turns to look, the rational assessment kicks in. It's not moving. It doesn't smell like a threat. It's just a vegetable sitting on the kitchen floor for reasons the cat finds deeply suspicious, but not immediately lethal. This is why the follow-up behavior is always the same. The cat doesn't run away and stay away. It comes back. It approaches slowly, from a slight angle, with the very specific energy of someone who is pretending they were never scared and simply chose to leave the room for unrelated reasons. It sniffs the cucumber. It might tap it with one paw. Then it walks away with its tail up, dignity fully intact, as if the whole thing never happened. Now here's where it gets more interesting. Not all cats react to cucumbers, and the ones that do don't react equally. Some bolt immediately. Some flinch and recover within seconds. Some look mildly startled and then go back to eating like they've seen worse. This variation matters because it tells us the fear isn't specifically about cucumbers at all. Animal behaviorist Jill Goldman, who was among the first to comment publicly on the viral videos, pointed out that the cucumber itself is almost irrelevant. The reaction is about sudden, unexpected appearance in a familiar space. She tested this with other objects, a zucchini, a rubber toy, even a carefully placed banana. Similar shapes in similar circumstances produced similar reactions. The cucumber became famous because of timing and scale, but a bottle of water placed silently behind a cat while it eats would likely produce the same result. The cucumber is just very good at the specific job of looking vaguely threatening while doing absolutely nothing. It is, in the most unintentional way possible, the perfect psychological ambush vegetable. Which brings us back to why behaviorists asked people to stop. The issue isn't the fright itself. Animals startle. That's normal and harmless in isolation. The problem is where the fright happens. Cats use their feeding area as a safe zone. It's one of the few spaces where a cat fully lowers its guard, focused on food, not scanning for threats. Repeatedly violating that safety triggers something worse than a single fright. It creates a persistent association between the feeding area and danger. Cats that were pranked repeatedly started eating less, became anxious around their food bowls, and in some cases began showing broader stress behaviors: over-grooming, hiding, increased aggression. You weren't just startling your cat, you were quietly convincing it that nowhere is truly safe. Cats already knew that, of course, but they didn't need the reminder. There's also something worth noting about the specific relationship between cats and their environment that makes this more significant than it sounds. Unlike dogs, which evolved in cooperative social groups and developed strong emotional dependence on their human companions, cats domesticated themselves. They moved into human settlements because the arrangement suited them. Good food supply, warm spaces, reasonable rent. The relationship has always been slightly more transactional. What this means is that a cat's sense of security is tied less to you specifically and more to the space you share. A dog that trusts its owner can feel safe almost anywhere, as long as that person is present. A cat trusts the territory. It trusts the established map of what is where and what is safe. Disrupt that map reliably enough, and you've damaged something the cat genuinely depends on. The cucumber prank, in other words, was funnier for the humans than it was for the cats. Which, if we're being fair, describes a lot of things humans find funny. So where does this leave us? The fear of cucumbers, or more accurately, the fear of unexpected snake-shaped objects in safe spaces, is a window into something genuinely fascinating about how animal nervous systems are built. The cat isn't being silly. It's running code that kept its ancestors alive across millions of years of actual snakes, in actual grass, actually trying to kill them. That the code now occasionally fires at a salad ingredient is not a bug. It's the inevitable consequence of putting an animal that evolved outdoors into a kitchen. The hardware is the same, the environment changed. Humans have their own version of this. The startle reflex that fires when someone taps you on the shoulder from behind. The spike of anxiety from a sudden loud sound. The way your heart rate jumps before your brain has even identified what startled you. We don't call those responses irrational. We understand they're the same ancient systems doing the job they were built for, slightly misfiring in a world that's moved faster than evolution could follow. The cat on the kitchen floor, staring back at the cucumber with enormous eyes and maximum dignity, is doing exactly what millions of years of natural selection trained it to do. It's just doing it at a vegetable. And if the cucumber had a face, it would probably look equally surprised. The real question, the one nobody in those viral comment sections stopped to ask, isn't why the cat is afraid of the cucumber. It's why we thought it was so funny to find out.